Alright, welcome back, good people. This video, I'm going to title, What Does Growing Up Really Mean? I thought that was a very interesting title. I read that the other day and I said, you know what, I'm going to share that with some people because I don't know. Do you know what growing up really means? So I did a little research. You know, I do research from time to time, right? And I come up with a few interesting things that I want to throw at you, and you tell me if you can add anything, or you agree or disagree, or just listen to what these statistics say and tell me how you feel about that. One, it says growing up really means more responsibilities on your shoulders. Yay or nay? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely more responsibility. Number two, no one necessarily standing beside to help you with things that you have to do. That's true also. I guess that is kind of like growing up, right? Not really depending on anybody else for your way of life. Because when we come into this world, we're totally dependent, right? 100% dependent on someone else to take care of us. And this is something that I believe. and I could be wrong, but I know I've seen things in my lifetime, but when you leave this world, if you stay on it long enough, you're also going to be 100% dependent on people, right? Now, if you stay physically fit, mentally strong, and all that good stuff, I believe your way of life will be kind of good for you the longer you live, because you'll be able to understand, one, patience. Patience is absolutely necessary to learn in life. And it took me a long time to learn patience, and I still struggle with patience. But I believe those people who can be patient have a distinct advantage over those like myself who can't, or who found it difficult to become patient, right? But I've gotten better. I've gotten a lot better, and hopefully if you're working on that, you'll get better as well, because it's kind of like mastering something. You know, it's like knowing when to speak and when not to speak, right? Knowing what to say and what not to say. I equate patience on that level up there with that way of going through life, or way of thinking. Another one says, learn to enjoy being alone. I have that right there. I have the most what's the word I'm looking for? I have the biggest concern with females that I talk to that are in their 50s and above. That is something they fight. They do not want to be by themselves. And I get this a lot too. I don't want to die by myself. And I'm thinking, what? What? Who you want to die with? Because you're going to die by yourself. You're going to have to know that, and you're going to die. So whether you're with somebody, or in a relationship with somebody, or dating somebody, or totally by yourself, when it's time to check out, you're going to check out alone. You don't get dual pass. Most times, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just the way things work. But I think one of the mindsets of that, I don't want to die alone, is that we become dependent on people as we get older. And as you get older, if you don't have resources like health care, or finances to get health care, or resources to get you to a doctor, or all that good stuff like that, then I think a certain level of fear will come on you, right? You'll be fearful. And you don't have anybody to talk to. You don't have anybody to bounce things off, like, ooh, I'm so scared. I don't know what I'm going to do. I pray that I make it through this. Those type of conversations that you'll have with yourself. If you have a mate there, or someone that's concerned, then they can kind of, comfort you in that time of need, right? Sometimes you have that, sometimes you don't. And that's why I'm a firm believer that it's absolutely necessary that you learn to become strong by yourself. You have to learn to become independent. You have to. Now, if you have a mate, that doesn't mean giving up your independence. To me, it doesn't. It means, hey, you have to still be strong because you have to be strong for that person. But you have to be stronger for you. Because think about this. If I'm drowning and you can't swim, how much can you really help me if we're both in the water? Because you're going to be drowning too. So you need to be in a position where you can give some assistance. You need to be able where you can reach out to a guy or a sister and say, hey, look, I can help you with that. I can get you out of that. And that's the type of understanding we get as we get older. As we get older, we know sometimes, look, you're gonna have to help people that you don't really like or you don't really want to help. But because you've grown to a level of understanding that we're all human beings, and it's okay to do that. Do it. From time to time. Don't go. In my mindset, don't go around. Just hurting yourself to help people because that's not the way I see things going. I think you have to be able to help you too, because people watch, people see you, people view you on a day-to-day basis. Then they may never say anything about it. They watch, because you watch, people. You can't tell me you don't. I can name 2 or 3 people that you cross paths with every day. You can have an opinion about those people, and you can only have an opinion because you watch those people, right? You know how they do things or why they do things in a lot of cases because they tell you, and that's how it works. That's how it should work. So as we grow older, as we grow up in life, and become wiser, one of the questions I like to ask people is, do people get wiser as they get older? Not always, right? Not always. I think they should, and I think they do in respect to the fact that they made it another day. But other than that, a lot of people don't really, I want to say this, if you're not gaining information in any way other than other than television or word of mouth, then I don't know how much wiser you can actually be getting, right? Because you're hearing pretty much the same thing on a regular basis. So if you're hearing the same thing on a regular basis, how much is that really changing you? How much is that really opening or expanding your mind to something different or the possibilities of other things that exist in this life, right? Not very much. Not very much. Because think about this real quick. If you get up and there's 3 people you work with at your job, let's say there's only 3 people at your job. I know there's probably a lot more, but I'm using that as an example so you can understand the point I'm trying to make. If there's only 3 people at your job, and that means during the 8-hour day, you're only really communicating with 3 different people, getting 3 different personalities, or 3 different understanding of those personalities, then that's the knowledge that you're going to be having. You won't get the knowledge of listening and sharing information with 10 or 20 people, only those 3. And after a period of time, you get to know what they're going to say. You get to say it before they say it because you know those people. You pay attention to that, right? We all do that. It's natural. It doesn't give you any superhuman powers or doesn't take away from any superhuman powers that you may have. But it does create a pattern. And see, when you create a pattern, people can follow those patterns. Like if you're predictable, people can put things in your way to help you or hurt you. Think about that now. If I know what time you go to work, if I'm a thief, I know what time to be at your house, right? Or if I'm a thief, I need to know that information, right? Because that could help my situation, right? So just because I'm not a thief doesn't mean somebody else isn't, right? And they're not watching what you do. So you need to be mindful as you grow up that there are things that you have to be responsible for, and you and only you. And as you do that, and people are watching, like your kids, your neighbors, or people who kind of respect you, get to know you, get to like you, get to trust you, right? Because these are all progressions of growing up, right? You have fear of different things. You kind of grow out of that fear. You learn something. You figure out that's not really for you. You learn something else. You do that for a while. You buy this car, you drive this car, you trade that car in, you live in this place, you sell that house and move in this place. See, all those are progressions, right? But they're going in line with your life, how your life went. And at the end of your life, which there will come an end to your life, the only story that can be told will be told by you, because you were the only constant or consistent in all that, right? Nobody else, only you. You know things about your life that no one else knows, as you should, right? Now, don't forget to like these videos, share these videos, and subscribe to these videos. I think I'm going to get a little recorder, and I'm going to push a button and just have that say that every time I come on. I think that'll be a little app I'll create. I hadn't created any apps, but I think that, I'll tell you one app I believe would be very helpful if we have any app creators out there, is, you know, when you're using the GPS on your cell phone or your device, if you could create an app to repeat what they just said. Because a lot of times I'm listening and I'm driving and they'll say something and I'm like, what did they say? If I had a repeat button on that thing, boom, I could get it. And you probably make a few dollars with that too, right? I come up with that idea, share that. All right, my name is Larry James. My company is SpeakerLarry.com, and I'll see you on the next video.